Welcome to Em.Powercoaching. Discover how to reinvent yourself, find self-empowerment, and live a more positive and fulfilling lifestyle. Em.Powercoaching combines mental and physical fitness to help you connect the dots to unveil a more confident, energized, and empowered version of you. So, if you're ready, let's get into today's episode. Hello and welcome back to Em.Powercoaching with me, Emma. It's so great to have you back on the show if you are a returning listener, and if you're a newbie, hello and welcome to the show. Before we get into it, I just want to say I am aware that a lot of you who are listening to this podcast have just come across it from either doing a search on Google or Spotify or iTunes, and so you might not have a damn clue who I am. So if you want to get to know who I am, if you want to put a face to the name, then hop over to Instagram and check out Em.Powercoaching UK, and you will see me on there, and then it just gives you an idea of who it is that's speaking to you on these weekly podcasts. Now, before we get into today's show, I'm really excited to announce to you my new and exciting launch of Embodied by Em.Powercoaching. Express self-confidence and represent you. So what is Embodied? It's all about building confidence and expressing your self-confidence through various ways. So we've got Confident You Beauty, Confident You Fragrance, Confident You Health Sups, and these are all going to tie in line with my health and fitness programs and my one-on-one PT as well. So it's another element added in there that's focusing all around self-confidence and representing you. So because I'm launching this as a very new and exciting thing, I am running a competition over on my Instagram page, and as part of that competition, you will have the chance to win access to my Shred online program. That's the full program for free. The nutrition to go alongside the Shred program. You will also get a free bottle of your desired perfume and a free makeup set in there as well. So a lot to be won, very exciting. The competition is over on my Instagram page, Em.Powercoaching UK. You will find all the details of everything that you need to do over there, and I will of course leave a link to my Instagram page in the show notes as well. Okay, so that's it, my exciting new launch. Just wanted to share that with you real quick. So now we'll get into today's show. So let's get into today's show, where I really want to talk about confidence, something that I have struggled with for pretty much my whole life. I can't remember a time where apart from recently, where I've felt really content and confident in myself, and this has led to some really negative parts of my life, including eating disorders, going into anxiety, having problems with depression. It's really affected me as a person, and it's also affected my aspirations and goals, and my career. So it's definitely something that I have a big connection with, and something that luckily I have been able to work on, and I'm definitely in a much better place now. And so I just want to try and help people who are going through the same thing, because having low confidence, it can really affect your quality of life, and that's why I want to talk about it. So how you see yourself just goes such a long way as to how you feel about yourself, and how others see you, and how others think of you as well. So if you're feeling really positive on the inside, you will glow with confidence on the outside, and that will come across to others. And then obviously the opposite way, if you're feeling really negative about yourself and you're feeling really low, then that will show on the outside as well, and others will be able to see that. So your inner beliefs are a huge part of how you feel, obviously, but how you come across to others as well. And feeling good about yourself is so essential if you want to achieve happiness in life, and if you really want to make the most out of life. It can be the difference of you being successful or failing, and it really is all about how you see your self-image. People suffer from low self-esteem for many reasons, and if they've been brought up negatively about themselves, and developing a positive self-image is going to be very difficult, but that doesn't mean that it's impossible. You can change the way that you think about yourself. You can change your future. It might take time. You're not going to suddenly wake up and be bouncing around with confidence, but it is possible. Developing a positive outlook is about changing your thoughts and feelings about yourself. And if you have been thinking negative thoughts for a long time, it's about changing the habit will also take time. So that's it. It's something that you've got to work on. It's going to take work. You're going to have to put in the grind. But isn't it great to know that you can change that it isn't just like the be all and end all. Adapting a new way of thinking and sticking to this new way will automatically replace any of the negative, unwanted feelings, and it will replace them with the positive ones in your day-to-day life. So when you start to get into a habit of thinking in a more positive way, that will just be on auto. That will just roll through, and it will just be automatic, and you won't have to work so much for it. It's normally just the initial. That's not to say that if you manage to overcome some of your fears and you manage to develop confidence, that you're just going to be confident for the rest of your life. It just doesn't work like that. There are going to be areas that will need revisiting over time as well, or we'll just need that constant regular update. When you start to think more positive and you are more confident, when that happens, your outlook just completely changes, and it's just an amazing thing. You start to realise that you can change, and then you start to realise your potential and your capabilities, and then that in itself will just start to open up new doors for you. You'll start to look at things in a completely different light, and you'll really begin to realise what's within your grasp. And that's the point where it can really change your quality of life, and where it really is so important to be able to work on something like that. There's so many ways that you can actually develop a more positive self-image and self-esteem. So you can do things like reading self-help books. There's so many out there. Do a little Google search on a confidence boosting book, and you will be provided with numerous books, I can assure you. Audio sessions as well. So if you're listening to this podcast now, then you're probably someone who prefers audio anyway. So there will be some podcasts out there that are dedicated to confidence and building and boosting confidence. So wherever you've found this podcast, maybe go and have a little search on there and just type in confidence boosting, or self-development as well will be another one to look for. Hypnotherapy audio is an interesting one that I have been playing around with actually quite recently. I still don't know where I sit with hypnotherapy, if it really does actually work, but I've been doing it anyway, because what have I got to lose? And to be honest with you, if anything, it chills me out so much just listening to the sessions, because obviously to begin with, they have to put you in what they call the trance. I do it just for the trance. Like, I'm 10 seconds in and I'm just like, yep, I am chilled as fuck. I'll just stay here. Like, if I build some confidence while I'm here, then great, but to be honest, it's chill time. So I'm not 100% decided on whether that's working, whether it's a placebo. Well, to be honest, if it's a placebo effect, that's fine. I'm fine with that. If it works, it works. but I don't know if it is working just yet. So but there has been a lot of great things said about hypnotherapy audio, so it's definitely something to dive into if you're interested in that. You can also attend counselling sessions, which it's a similar kind of thing, I suppose, except that you're more likely to be awake in that one. But you can talk through with someone about your limiting beliefs, which is essentially where low confidence comes from, and you can work through them with a professional counsellor as well. So there's some really great ways that you can try and actually work on your confidence. But at the end of the day, they all rely basically on the same principle, which is understanding what confidence really is. What is confidence to you? What does that mean? How to gain confidence in yourself, because everyone's different. Ridding yourself of the negative beliefs that you have, because like I mentioned before, that's usually where low confidence stems from, is having those negative beliefs, and how to replace them with the positive ones, and then just learning the strategies which allow you to remain confident in any situation, which is a big, bold statement to make. But there are some people who have genuinely been able to do that. So yeah, it's not out of reach for you. The basics behind developing a more positive outlook and self-image, really just thinking about positive self-image and confidence and understanding what it means to you. Honestly, it really does mean so much that you understand what your confidence is, because seeing someone else and seeing them and believing them to be confident is different to what confidence means to you, if that makes sense. Get to know yourself better. So recognizing your strengths, build on them. We all have weaknesses and we all have strengths. So just because Tanya next to you, why did I say Tanya? That's such a random one. Like Karen would have been more common, but anyway, Tanya, we're going with Tanya. Just because she's got a strength in one specific area and you're not strong in that area doesn't mean that that's a negative, that's bad for you. Okay. So because this Tanya is like really, really confident in a certain aspect and has this strength in a certain area that you recognize as being a weakness for you, doesn't mean that you should knock your self-confidence for that. Because do you know what? Tanya's going to have a weakness in an area that you're strongest at. So trying not to compare yourself so much with other people and just really focusing on yourself and your strengths, and then build on those strengths, stick with them and get stronger and stronger. Again, moving forward and constantly changing your negative thoughts into more positive ones. So whatever negative thoughts come sliding into your head, and you might have a few each day, each week, try and change them into more positive ones. And that's not easy. That is one of these easier said than done scenarios, but learning how to be able to change that negative thought into a positive one, and pulling out a positive from it, even if you have to dig right down in there, will really help to just wipe away that negative thought. And then reflecting on what you've learned and seeing the positive changes that you're making to your life. It's so easy to go day in and day out, rolling on auto, and just making changes and not really focusing and reflecting on it. So let's say you're working on your self-development and we're a couple of months in. Just take 10 minutes just to sit back and just look at where you are now in comparison to where you were when you first started your journey. Because that can often get forgotten about, but it can be so powerful just to sit and really notice where you've come, and that in itself is a nice little confidence booster as well. We all talk to ourselves, right? Well, I hope we do. I hope it's not just me. Not losing the plot just yet. Although girls on the edge. come on, we all do. We do it. Every now and then we find ourselves, we'll find ourselves putting ourselves down. So, for example, if you're having a really shitty day and, you're getting ready and you're looking in the mirror and you might not say it out loud, you might be talking to yourself in your head, but there will be some times where you're putting yourself down, you're looking back at the reflection and in your head you're saying to yourself, oh, I just hate how that's sitting, or I wish this was better, or I wish my nose was smaller, or I wish my eyes didn't droop quite as much. We do it. And again, a lot of these are just irrational thoughts. They're unhelpful thoughts that we're having, and learning how to replace those negative thoughts and feelings with positive ones is going to be really important. So the best way to do that is just to give yourself some credit. Okay, so when you're having a moment like that, give yourself some goddamn credit, right? Okay, maybe you do have a big nose, right? But is that the be all and end all? No, because maybe you've got absolutely beautiful, bouncing, natural big lips. I don't know. I don't know what it is that you class as being negative and being positive. I don't know. So you have to recognize that yourself, and try and change that yourself. Positive affirmations throughout the day, or even if you just find one part of the day to do this. This is something that I've, again, only just recently started doing myself. Affirmations, it's not something that I've delved into much, but it's something that I have started recently, and I'm going to be keeping up for a while, and I'll probably do a podcast update on it in a couple of weeks' time, just to let you know how I've been getting on with it. But I can already say, just from what I've been doing recently, that it really is having an impact. So I'm not really one for repeating positive affirmations throughout the day, because one, I forget. And number two, I'm just running around a lot usually. Even at home now, because I'm still on furlough right now while I'm recording this podcast, so I'm still in my little sofa den. If you've not seen the sofa den, again, hop over to Em.Powercoaching UK on Instagram and you will see where this podcast is currently coming from. But either way, I have actually managed to find a way with my journal that I spoke about before to keep my days really busy and to keep myself active and scheduled. So a lot of the time I just forget, okay? I just don't fit it in. So I do my affirmations at the end of the day when I'm laid in bed. And I've pulled my partner into doing this. He's not said that he hates it or that he likes it or whatever. He just does it. So he does it with me. I think he enjoys it. He's not said either way, but he just does it. And what I do is I just choose three positive affirmations. Now, at the minute for me, I'm just doing this in general. What am I grateful for that day? So it can be anything, right? If I've had a snuggle time with Mufasa and he's been really good. Mufasa is my pet bunny rabbit, by the way, Lionhead. That's why it's called Mufasa. Just wanted to clarify. If I've had like a really nice afternoon with him and he's behaved himself and not chewed the walls apart, I'll be grateful for that. I don't have to bloody well hoover up a million times after all the wallpaper that's all over the floor. If I've just been in a good mood that day, because I've struggled in these lockdowns. I've had good days, I've had bad days. So if I've just felt good that day, if I've felt positive, then I'll say that I'm grateful for that. Or if I've completed a task that I had on my to-do list, then I'll be grateful for that. Or if the sun's been shining and I've been able to get out for a walk because it's not pissing down with rain, then I'm happy and grateful for that. So that's what I like to do. I choose three, and we lay in bed. I say to my partner, what are you positive for today? Grateful for today? and we'll run through it. But even if I was on my own, I'd just do that with myself as well. Now, because we're talking about confidence and self-confidence specifically, you could choose those affirmations about yourself. So choose 3 things that you can pick out as being positives about yourself. Some of you might be sitting there right now and be like, I can't even choose 1, and you want me to choose 3? Bitch, please. But you will, honestly, if you actually just sit there and think, right, come on. She told me I needed to think of 3, so I'm going to think of 3. You will find a way and you will do it, but you have to believe them as well. You can't just say it out loud just because some bitch on a podcast said to give it a go. You have to believe what it is that you're saying. Really great way of doing it. It will definitely make a difference. So I do have some action points that you can also go through. So number 1, the mirror technique. Now, you're either going to love this or you're going to hate it, but we're going to talk about it anyway because I like it and it's worked for me. So the mirror technique, what you're going to do is you're going to write down 1 sentence that you believe is connected to your low confidence. So, for example, let's just be general here. I hate my body. You can be more specific, and actually the more specific you are, the better it is. So if there's a particular area that you're really feeling negative about, write that down. But just for example purposes, we're going with I hate my body. Now, write the same sentence down, but change it to a positive one. Okay? You don't have to believe anything at this point. You're just simply doing the task. So, for example, the original statement was, I hate my body. We're now going to change it to a positive one. So I would write down, I love my body. There we go. Simple, right? Now, I want you to take that statement. I want you to go find a mirror somewhere in the house. The bigger, the better. Stand in front of it, look yourself in the eye, and repeat that positive statement out loud while staring yourself in the eye. You might feel a bit weird, granted. If anyone's looking, they might think that you've lost the plot, granted, but just do it, trust me. Repeat that sentence, that positive statement, for a minimum of 10 times. Honestly, the power that comes with doing that is just unreal. The first time you do it, you're probably going to talk really quietly and be like, yeah. But the more that you do it, the more confident that you get with actually doing it. Now, it's been shown that if you do this and you repeat this on a daily basis and you do it right, like you have to look yourself in the eye and you have to repeat that positive statement clearly, loudly, out loud. Over time, mentally, you just start to believe it. And all you're doing is just saying that sentence into your mirror 10 times a day, and that's it. Honestly, it's a very powerful exercise to do. Really go and give it a go. I really do recommend it. So another action step, number 2, is try to discover your limiting beliefs and what you can do to overcome these. Your limiting beliefs are beliefs that you have about yourself that limit you from being able to do or achieve the things that you want in life. So they are beliefs that hold you back. The majority of the time, these limiting beliefs are not real. And so what I want you to do is to try and discover your limiting beliefs. And I want you to really just bite the bullet with this and test your beliefs. I want you to write down all the evidence that you've got that really backs up that belief that you have. Okay, so if your limiting belief is that you're wanting to progress in your career, you're wanting to get a promotion within your role, and you don't think that you can do it because you don't think you're good enough, I want you to write down every single piece of evidence that you have, hard evidence, not emotional in your head evidence, hard solid evidence that you have that can actually back that up. Solid evidence you can show me if I was to ever reach out and speak to you about it. Honestly, the majority of you won't have that evidence because it's just a thought, it's just a limiting belief in your mind that has conjured up over time. So once you start to discover what these beliefs are and the lack of evidence that you actually have, you can then start to look at the evidence that you have to challenge it and say, well, actually, no, you are capable of this because of this, this, and this, and then list all the evidence for the good of it. So action number 3 is to set small, achievable self-development goals. This could be a goal with regards to exercise, it could be nutrition, mental well-being, positive outlooks, positive living just boosts confidence in itself. So if your goal is with exercise, let's say that you haven't really been moving around much, maybe your goal is going to be once a week or once a week. Let's like I say, start small if you haven't been doing it already. Once a week you're going to attend a exercise class, or you're going to complete 30 to 60 minutes of exercise. I don't know, it's just an example. Maybe you're a runner, maybe you really want to be able to achieve a 5k. Set that as your goal. Nutrition, maybe you just live on coffee. To be fair, I'm close. I think my body must be at least 90% coffee at the minute. But I do drink a lot of water as well, so I'm just always on the toilet peeing. I just pee all the time. But let's say you don't really drink much water, and we could go for hours and hours about the benefits of drinking water. So it's a really great goal to have, is to just try and drink more water. That could be a goal that you have. Set yourself achievable small goals, because when you complete those goals, that in itself is going to make you feel fucking awesome. But the really important thing here is that you make sure that they're only small to begin with and that they are achievable. Because if you go away, let's say you've never exercised in your life, right? And your goal is like, right, okay, I am going to exercise 6 times a week for a minimum of 1 hour per session. And I'm going to do this for a minimum of 4 weeks. Yeah, okay. You might be able to do it, but it's highly unlikely. I will challenge that. I do believe that would be highly unlikely. So make it realistic, because if you can't achieve it, it will have the complete opposite effect. So there we go. 3 action steps for you: the mirror technique, discovering your limiting beliefs and challenging them, and then setting small, achievable self-development goals as well. So we're coming to the end of today's session. I hope you've really enjoyed it. Just a reminder about the launch of my Feel Good, Look Good, Smell Good, which is going to be launched with an awesome competition over on my Instagram page, Em.Powercoaching UK, where you will have the chance to win full access to the Shred Sweat and Strength program, the Shred Nutrition to go alongside that to maximise your results, the chance to choose a bottle of perfume of any of your preference, your choice, and then also a makeup set as well to go along with that. So it's a really lovely prize to be won. Competition details are all over on my Instagram page. Again, that's Em.Powercoaching UK. So get involved, guys. Again, thank you so much for your support listening to these podcasts. It means so much to me. When you leave reviews, and especially when you leave your 5-star reviews, I might just add, it's just so great for me to see that, and just lovely to know that me sitting underneath my little den, absolutely just sweating from no air and looking like a crazy woman, is actually having an impact on some people. It really does. It makes all the difference. So thank you for your continued support. If this has resonated with you, please reach out, let me know, come and chat with me over on my Instagram. I always love to speak to people, to meet new people, and especially if, I have managed to help you in any way with this. If you know of anyone who might benefit from listening to this podcast, please also share. Word of mouth is amazing for us guys as podcasters. It really helps this podcast to reach more people, which essentially then is going to help more people. So thank you again once Once again, repeating my words there. I will be back next week. This has been Empower Coaching. Thank you for tuning in and see you again soon. Bye.